drunk and watch The Grinch.
Yo, you tuning into The Notion. It's your boy Dizzy D Spill here with my co-host in the building,
Farmer Poe.
Jelani Evans.
Well, I'm glad it's good spirits. What was you saying about The Grinch, Jelani?
Oh, it's a great movie. Everybody should check that out.
Which one though? The animated one or the Jim Carrey one?
Both.
Both are classic.
When you say I looked at him like, what do you mean, bro? Like,
I mean, there's a difference because, you know, if we was to say the new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or whatever, like, it's going to be the OG.
you should have knew something was up when they changed the name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, we can't be changing the name on classics. That's just out of pocket.
Speaking of classics, I heard what was that? The Matrix Revived?
Oh, my God. Horrible. Oh, my.
Bro, I loved it.
What?
Yeah, I loved it.
First person I heard say that.
I loved it.
Oh, my God. No,
I haven't seen it.
We're not going to do that.
I loved it.
Haven't seen it.
No, you thought it was a good movie? Or you're saying loved?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, my nigga. You didn't love it. You didn't love it. Nah.
I liked it.
Nah. You was sleepy when you was watching it.
I was up the whole time versus people saying they fell asleep on it.
Bro, I literally fell asleep on that shit
I've
twice.
fallen asleep on the original Matrix movie, the trilogies before,
Yeah,
because
but
they're
my nigga,
long
it's
movies.
a long movie.
I like the concept of how they integrated how we have issues on social media.
I didn't even get that far.
Well,
I don't
that's
even,
the whole.
I don't even know what the plot was going to be.
That's kind of like the whole premise of it. It's kind of like a deep rooted message in it. But I think everybody wants the exact nostalgia of the originals, and then at that point, you're still not making the crowd happy.
It's too clean, bro.
Huh?
Like, there's a lot of it that was like, first visually, it was too clean. That's the one of the things that turned me off. It's like it don't like the new when they remake shit, they remake it like too perfect. Like it's like
wasn't it written by the sister or sisters? I don't know if there's multiple, but there's a.
I didn't look at the writing, but I mean, you guys would.
Like it had that.
Well, because I know like there was the Wachowski brothers, right?
Yeah.
And then I heard that this new one was written by the sister or something like that.
I think I heard that. Their sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah. Who else?
Well, I mean, because
yours.
because there's a lawsuit because A's sister says she was the one who actually wrote the original screenplay. I don't know if y'all heard that.
You mean a sister?
Yeah, Sister Sledge.
She wrote. Yeah, no. She wrote. She actually sued them. She eventually won, but she claimed that she wrote Terminator and The Matrix, and Terminator is actually the prequel to The Matrix. And she said in her story and everything, she was saying that.
Did you share that article?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where I seen it at. Don't trust it.
Nah. You gotta. I went and did some back research on top of that. Like she did.
So Terminator and The Matrix was hijacked by us.
Hijacked from.
I'm sorry, hijacked from us.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they go together.
They're like.
I mean, when you think about it, it's like okay.
She's saying Neo is what you call it?
John Connor. Really?
And the machines went back to go kill him before he became.
Yeah, that would have been a dope ass Matrix movie. But
and then bring in the Terminator.
Boom.
It's when you think about it, it's like damn, that shit kind of.
I mean, if you did mix both movies together, you talking about some cold ass shit.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, we are talking about two different directors, like because James Cameron did the
means
I should say the dope.
Is an agent.
Yeah, yeah.
Mind blown, and I'm on my last Charlie.
But she said they couldn't make the reason the Matrix took so long to make is because they didn't have the technology to make that part of the movie. I guess.
Really?
At the time.
You
know, what I mean?
They looked homeless in the first.
I mean, they had on all the Kanye shit. Like they had on all the Kanye shit
because it was supposed to be it was supposed to be set in the future or the past.
I'll tell you like this:
I seen something.
Jelani would have had hella clientele because everybody's kicks was fucked up in the Matrix. He'd be doing no podcast. Like, bro, I got about 150 pair I got to do today.
Not today.
I ain't had no lunch break, nothing. This nigga Neo keep fighting niggas in the Dior's. I'm getting tired of this shit.
They were wearing the same clothes every day, but got different shoes on.
Bruh. Anyways, I liked it.
The metaverse. The Matrix.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. What y'all think about that metaverse shit?
I think it's dope.
I don't
that shit's gonna
think
be
about it
kinda
at all, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be tight.
Yeah.
Like I have my. Obviously, we always have our. Like
Our reservations. About
yeah,
it.
but it's almost like when they first said something about wireless headphones
Or the internet.
or fucking CDs.
Yeah, I remember speaking of CDs. I had to grab my King's Disease actual hard copy. That came today. Shout out to Nas. I still do CDs. Yep. I still do CDs, bro.
Oh, okay. That's nice. He ain't even opened it yet.
It's real, y'all.
He ain't even opened it yet.
No, I'm not gonna open it because I already got it streamed on the phone.
That's nice.
I'm gonna need to get it signed.
I still have a great appreciation for album cover artwork.
I do too. That's one of the reasons why I copped that one too.
Yeah, that's dope.
But I think the metaverse is dope. I think our generation is gonna look at it like how our parents, how the boomers looked at it with the internet and hippity hop music and all that other shit, how they called it. But I think there could be a lot of different things that are good that can come from it.
We damn near live in the
that
metaverse
one
anyway.
movie? I can't remember the name of it, of course, but it was like this kid was playing with somebody in like a digital type. He was actually controlling a real person.
Real player number one.
Not that's not Ready Player. That's not Ready.
And like
You're talking about
when he got freed, he went to go find his wife and
with
she
Gerard
was
Butler.
Yeah, and
What
his
the
wife
hell?
was being
Is it called
controlled
Gamer?
by something like that.
I feel
Being
like it's called
controlled by
Gamer.
somebody, some fat dude. Like it was like wild. But I'm
Yeah.
like, that's
He was
what
like
I
the
feel.
dopest player in the game, and Gerard Butler was was the actual avatar. So it was like the perfect matrimony to just dominate shit. And so he finally released them like, you don't control me, right? And he really started killing shit. I think Terry Crews was in that. Like he was one of the main villains in it or something like that.
About that guy. But yeah,
I understand.
So, like I'm just like, you think about like that's where the metaverse is. It's gonna be there
Yep.
at some point, and I
I mean,
want no parts.
we're kind of there. We're like basically living in a
Metaverse.
Have you guys watched,
NFTs?
I still don't know.
I can break
understand
it down a little bit.
I understand the NFTs now though, because those are kind of
Don't get the wrong
preparing
information.
for the metaverse. Would be a perfect place for NFTs.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
now digital
you
art.
looked at 'em.
Because before we didn't know what the fuck like digital art. Like,
get the definition right, nigga.
my nigga, this ain't Family Feud.
going
I
now.
got it.
This is going out to the people.
You know, Family Feud like this. When we get back home, nah. But look, the digital
Cut it
art
off
thing
right here.
was
No, that's
like,
wrong.
what value did it have before people? A lot of people didn't have any understanding of what the value of digital art would be, because it'd be like, where am I going to see this on the internet? I can just go find a picture. But if the metaverse becomes or will eventually become such a big community,
Mhm.
if you're living in that verse and you have such digital art or things that it may not even be art.
I'm gonna be honest. It's ridiculous, and thank God we're still youthful. You know what I mean? And this isn't 20 or 30 years from now. It's an avalanche of information hitting us because you have NFTs, you got crypto, you got the metaverse, and they're all cohesive. And the best way to kind of look at, like, I'm pretty sure we all know what Ethereum is, right?
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah, let me go look.
Okay, break it. Oh yeah,
NFTs are pieces of digital content linked to the blockchain. The digital database underpinning cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, excuse me. Unlike NFTs, those assets are what is that? Fungible?
Yeah, non-fungible tokens.
Fungible?
Mhm.
No. Those assets are fungible.
Oh yeah. You have fungible and you have non-fungible. That's
Well,
what
see, NFT is a non-fungible
token.
That's right. So that's saying like Bitcoin and Ethereum are fungible. Those assets are
And
fungible.
what's
Yeah.
fungible?
Okay, so this is how it works with Ethereum, right?
Mhm.
Look at Ethereum like JD Rockefeller, gas,
Okay.
right? Like that Ethereum is going to be like the gas and the electricity, for the blockchain.
Okay.
You see
So
what I'm saying?
the-
And then you can have different currencies like Bitcoin, Shiba, and all of these different, all of these different tokens that could be used for different things.
Okay.
And then, of course, you got the metaverse And that's why I say it's like an avalanche of information, because the metaverse, there's all kinds of things you can do. You can buy digital real estate in the metaverse. I've seen that. Who was it? Who's Steph Curry with? Is it
Under Armour?
Under Armour. So they came out with an exclusive amount of NFT Steph Curry sneakers. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Okay.
Now, the reason why those specific NFTs are really huge is because of the utility behind it. So, for example, a celebrity can throw a damn party and be like, all right, your ticket into the party is your NFT. You know what I'm saying? Or I follow Prince Donnell, who has the Jumpin' Jack Tax company, the franchise, right? Mm-hmm. And what he does is he's coming out with NFTs where you're getting discounts and deals and all of that stuff on what he's doing regarding his franchise. So me, Jelani, we could all have our own NFTs, and the utility behind it can be, you know, exclusive access to parties that we're having, or exclusive pieces that we're getting out there. Like, that's what part of the value is going to be.
Brand, and they were like, the only way to have access to this drop or this capsule is if you own our NFT.
Yeah. So it could be the utility, and then you have the art aspect of it, where it could be a dope digital art designer. Like, say somebody used to work for Pixar and they designed The Incredibles, and now they're coming out with their own NFT. They're only coming out with 1,000.
So the NFT could almost be like it could be a ticket per se, mm-hmm. or a membership, mm-hmm. for
it all
something.
Depends though, because
but the NFT is a representative of whatever it is that is. I don't know the word to say it. It's not something that you can actually necessarily hold, but it can get you into some.
You might be able to, depending. It just depends on what they made the NFT for.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Did then no boy drop an album?
Who's
Tory?
That? Yeah, he did, and he sold out like, or was it an album or a song? He did, and he did like 1 million.
It was an album.
Who?
Yeah, Tory.
Oh, Tory Lanez, the '80s one.
Whatever album he dropped last year, it sold out like that in NFTs. He made like $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Because he was selling NFT for like $1 or something like that. But that's just an example right there. Like, whatever you're doing, you can really make an NFT off of it. Like, I bought my first NFT recently, and but what I did is I bought something that I liked, that I thought looked cool. So I'm not looking at it to be like a come up. I even seen some Kobe Bryant NFTs, and I was going to buy it. And then I had this notification that came up and say, you got to be careful what you buy, because that person, we don't even know if that person even got the okay to use Kobe's likeness or anything. So that kind of turned me off from wanting to buy it. But it was some dope NFTs that person made. So,
okay. So what's the NFT that you bought?
It's basically my profile on my IG right now. It's basically a Cheek Lion NFT, okay. And it's just like a community. And what happens with a lot of these NFTs is you have your NFT, then you have the links, their Instagram, the Discord. You want to go straight to the Discord. Shout out to Jelani, because he showed me the Discord app last year. And when you get on the Discord, you're in that community now. They're talking about all the different stuff that's going on, and that's where you'll find out different updates, if they're coming out with different NFTs, how the utility could be used. That's why when you said, when you were saying, well, is it only going to be digital? Some NFTs might be, you could buy it, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's like I think it's like locked or unlocked button you press on the app that you're using, and then you might be able to get the actual documents for that NFT. If you want to print it out or do whatever it is you want to do with it. It all just depends on why they made it. So that's just crazy, because that's just an NFT conversation. That's not no metaverse stuff. That's not. And I'll tell you right now, my cousin, he was talking to me about like the cannabis NFTs and the dope stuff that they're doing with that. And I'm just like, man. So for the chiefers out there, you should really look into the NFTs, the cannabis NFTs that they got, and some of the stuff you can get out of that. It's a very interesting time to be around and see what's going on with the world.
What a time to be alive.
Right.
All the digital shit is going on because of the pandemic. Y'all can't go outside. We finna live in a metaverse, because you can't, yo.
Yeah.
We're in the third second variation of this thing now.
Yeah.
The second variation of it now.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter whether you're vaccinated or not. You should be wearing a mask and staying safe and keeping your distance, and honestly only going out or maneuvering for essentials at this point. Like,
and really being around the same people. You know, I mean, most people have their inner circle, but like I deal with the same circle of people on a regular.
man, I mean, yeah. I don't even be dealing with the people in the circle all the time. I was like, the circle's there. Like, one
It's a
foot
C
in, one
today.
foot out. Man, bruh, that's just a dot. I ain't hit nobody for New Year's or nothing. I just in the house like, it's another one.
Just posted a champagne glass. You know what it is.
Yeah, still here.
It wasn't. There was the feel of the end of the year was kind of different. It didn't necessarily feel like the end of the year.
I feel like a lot of shit accelerated.
So look,
I said last year, I didn't like 2020. I thought it was over, and then the beginning of the year was crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't expect nothing less than.
but see, that's the thing though. That's why it felt the way it felt. Like, yeah, this is the end of the year, but it's not the end of the bullshit. We're actually we're heading to episode 3, right? Because there was the original, right? Then there was part 2. That was a Delta.
Right.
Now we in
The original. Then there's a
Return of
Delta.
the Jedi.
And now there's the Omicron, right?
Revenge of the Sith.
I feel like there's what was that on The Simpsons? Omicron. I feel like there's a cartoon that actually has
I'm
that.
sure The Simpsons.
Like,
If
it might.
anything, said it.
Probably was. Or Futurama.
Or
I be
South
watching
Park.
old
One of
stuff. I think it's Futurama. Who knows? Stoner stuff. Anyways, but yeah. So you feel me? Episode 3, and the thing about it is, if you notice, every episode starts off with some craziness, right? R.I.P. to John Madden and Betty White.
Yeah.
And the Mac was just I'm disrespecting right now.
Nah.
Because the movie The Mac, what it represented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
The reason people saying that is because
Hell
of what
no.
the movie meant for a lot of people, especially niggas from the Bay.
What is it about? I got to get this brother's name right because he's a legend.
It's
I know who it is. I'm just making sure.
No, it's facts, bro.
you didn't know that?
He passed away on his birthday, which was New Year's.
He passed.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was like, bruh. Yeah. Yeah, not feeling that.
Goldie, man.
R.I.P. to Max Julian.
Yeah, Max Julian. There you go. Thank you. Yeah. On his birthday too.
Damn.
One more. Let me see.
I'm leaving here and smacking a bitch just on GP.
That's the legend right there, man. Another one that I need to pull up that was crazy too. Tracks a Million passed.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Tracks a Million passed.
So rest in peace.
R.I.P. to Tracks a Million.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Tracks a Million. So I mean,
like I said,
between
bro,
that end of the year, that beginning of the year,
episode 3, a new episode always starts off with some craziness and some people passing that you didn't expect, or it comes out of left field. Because I'm gonna be honest, everybody felt like John Madden and Betty White were gonna live forever.
Yeah, man, at least to 1,000 years old.
Niggas might have thought they died 3 or 4 times already.
Bro, like they
like, oh, they still alive?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Boom. Like
these are people that's been around our whole entire like they were older when we were little bitty kids, so it's like, oh yeah, they're not going nowhere.
And then the one that wasn't
John
expected.
Madden on Sega meant a lot to me, bro.
The one that wasn't expected is Max Julian.
Yeah.
Right? And then the one that comes out of left field is Tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cancer.
Oh, he passed from cancer.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, had he been battling it for a while, or?
I'm not sure. I hadn't followed it. That's what I've heard.
Golly.
That's crazy though. So,
But
apparently M. Night Shyamalan is riding the world's life right now because there's been twists and turns every year, boy.
Hey,
every year.
But look,
Get vaccinated, everything's safe.
We might need the guy from Scary Movie to let us know how the sequel ends or how it begins. I mean the third movie, right?
Yeah,
he got to let us know what's really going to happen in the beginning of the third movie and the end, because we seen how the first two happened.
Yeah.
And niggas was playing, thought it was a joke.
Let me tell you how it's gonna happen.
They gonna shut this shit down again. Listen,
I honestly don't see. I don't see it shut down because business. At least here in America, because business.
they see how much money they lost.
But I do see a transition in how businesses are going to be ran, because they're now understanding. Hold up, these people working at home using their own electricity, not using their own home instead of using the buildings and the stuff that we provide. Mm-hmm. We saving thousands of dollars a month.
But then you got the other people who had a taste. See, for a long time, none of us, not even our parents, got a taste of what it was to be like outside of the matrix. It's like they spilled the wrong pill into our Kool-Aid, because a lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us were living that 9-to-5 life, or the check to check life, or working for someone else's life, or spending most of your hours working inside of an office or a cubicle.
Right.
And then we got a taste of what it's like to have to either figure it out on our own or just not be in those buildings.
Yeah, you're not programmed every day.
And you're not gonna get people to go back like that.
Yeah.
Even in my job, like they aren't forcing anyone to say, "Hey, we all coming back." It's like they asked us how many days can you come back and be in, and if so, how many days per week.
Oh, they checking with you to see how you do things.
They asking us. You know what I mean? So
this your boss. What's your week look like? I was thinking you could do like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing, like just
don't call me manager, call me Tony. We're friends.
My boss told me,
"How was your weekend?
2 days a week was good." I'm like,
2 days a week.
2 days a week.
Man.
In the office and the rest at home.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I'll be there Thursday and Friday.
Yeah. Listen, it's
because nobody work on them days. Nobody is
chilling.
And it's
we're heading into the weekend.
It's different because depending on what kind of job you had, you aren't gonna not go back to the job because the benefits, but you're gonna try to figure out that schedule.
Yeah, you're gonna try to finesse.
You're gonna try to finesse the schedule.
Try to finesse. They bringing up the minimum wage even more now. They begging for people to come to work. Yeah. That's crazy. Do you think at this point, because we've been in it going in 3 years now, you know what I'm saying? That
2 and 3 months, it will be 3 years.
3 years, right? So do you think at this point people should be well aware of how to adapt and maneuver in the world right now? No. Because nothing has been consistent.
Exactly.
Okay.
Nothing, too much.
Like, think about it. It's open, it's closed. It's open, it's closed. Everything's fine. It's not fine.
Rescheduling.
Vaccinated, you still get it.
You can come back to work. You can't go back to work. You get vaccinated, you're good. Now you getting sick.
Blue pill versus red pill people.
It just like there's nothing has been consistent except the fuckery.
And it's spilled over into the normal activities of human life. It's spilled over into politics. It's into your work.
Listen, yes, and everything.
In your home.
Nothing is consistent.
Your friends and family. So it's like it's almost ingrained into our culture now.
So what do we do? What now?
I wouldn't say it's ingrained into the culture because it's not the norm. It's not something we're used to. It's something we're adapting to, but on the same breath, think about how things start to shift once they start to open things back up, right? It started to move away from the fuckery that we have been dealing with or adapting to, correct?
Maybe it wasn't as extreme, but I still see it. I still kind of experience it to where there may be less, maybe mask mandates, depending on where you're at, but I still see it as far as culture, and maybe that's a little extreme, but we're still I don't think the mask thing is going to go away as quickly because people are so.
I think that's unsure. Here to stay.
Yeah, but that's not culture, nigga. That's livelihood.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like for instance, over there in China, part of their culture, they were wearing masks way before. That was for us. It's changing the way that we live.
Yeah, but I see it's going to eventually be part.
Like, I feel like I feel like both of you guys are saying the facts because China did adopt that years ago. But I feel like that is going, as far as masks go, I think that is going to be a cultural thing here too. Well, after they could have, I mean, we've heard things about them coming out with pills, that could be, preventative to the virus, right? But I feel like people are going to remember what's been going on and say, fuck that, I'm still wearing a mask. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be normal to just see people, if they want to wear a mask, just as normal as people don't, versus if you had took any of us in 2012 and put us right now, why is everybody wearing fucking masks and shit? You know what I'm saying? It's going to be so socially acceptable. You know what I mean?
Even the vaccine cards, that thing is even still like, that's crazy, because that changes what people are able to do and what they can't do, and what they're like the negative test thing, like that whole thing is spilled over into its own little culture, because now you got the whole scam part of it.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you like this, right? After everything with the pandemic, right, and staying in the house, not being able to go out, and keeping distance, not socializing, right? I think I said this to you at one point. I was like, bro, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older. I don't know if it's because I'm a stoner. I don't know if it's because of how we've been conditioned by the pandemic, but I don't want to go out. I don't feel like going nowhere.
You're a conditioned old stoner.
Right. So look, so because of that, so because of that, right? Look, check it out though. Because of that though, right? So now you can go out and you have to have a negative test or be vaccinated or whatever. So check this out. I'm not vaccinated. I haven't had I haven't had a negative COVID test because I haven't taken one in a while. You feel me? It's easily been some weeks, easily, right? So I would need to take a test and have a negative to go somewhere with 1,000 or more, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Or go
not
get
even
vaccinated,
1,000.
Right? Yeah, not even 1,000.
Not even 1,000.
Okay, so boom. So but I would have to go
like 50.
So but this is the whole thing though. I'm gonna be honest. That's an inconvenience for me. I don't really want to go out in the first place. So if I get up the energy to want to go out because I've been conditioned to stay in after all the BS we've endured, and so then it's like, yeah, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and go out. It's like, but if you're gonna go out, you either have to have a vaccination card or a negative card. I'd be like, bet I'm not going.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that extra. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't. So yeah, there are those, and in my, like, for me, it's not even I'd be like, what? I kick my shoes back off.
Because I can understand that. Like, I've had the urge to go out sometimes because I've like been in the house so much. And then
that's another thing.
But it's not the same. It's like now it's almost like we fiending for shit. Like chasing the fucking drug, because each time I've gone out, it's not been the same vibe. You don't get that same vibe. Like, Algorithm was cool. Don't get me wrong. It was cool.
That was the closest. That was the closest to how things
normalcy.
That was the closest to BC, right? Before COVID. That was the closest to BC that we have experienced in a while. Outside of that,
everything else,
anywhere you go, it's this
that energy,
unspoken tension.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even like you go to eat in a restaurant, right? And it's like I be tripping people out because I'm sitting at the table, right? And people get to their table, and what they do? They take their mask off, right? I have my mask on still. I don't take my mask off until
Johnny just flip up the visor on the helmet.
Like, I don't take my mask off until the waiter is done talking to me and my food arrives.
Right.
And that's because I don't want you coming back at me, because I still have to interact with the waiter or waitress who is going around interacting with everybody else.
Talking down at you and
all they. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So until you're done, I place my order. Like, you bring my drink. You bring my drink. Once you walk away, about time. God. Here, they're coming back. Oh yeah, I'm ready to order.
Yeah.
Yo, got a zipper on the mask.
You gotta pull it away from your list, because otherwise, you put it away. Yeah, I'll have the.
Hey, look, I was at the bar on New Year's, and they had a little sign on the little screen protectors on the bar. It said, "Look, have your cash ready. Don't even try to talk to us type that shit on your phone and show it to us. Just show it to us on your phone. Don't talk to us. Don't try to like do the whole thing because we can't hear you. And all we're doing is
martini shaking our stars with 2 fingers of no.
like make sure how long.
They're like, what?
I think you misspelled.
Nigga wrote a paragraph for his drink.
Hennessy, I think you misspelled Hennessy.
Dot.
Sure, you sure about the dirty glass? And thanks for the thickness comment.
But see, that's how it like. The reason I said it's spilling over into our culture is because it's kind of creating a culture of its own, not just based on the mandates. Like the mandates is like you gotta have it or you don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
But like even things that such as
The way of life.
the way it is, like how you move, and even the way you move now is like, all right, I have such a habit of once I get in the car and my mask is like the way I take it off is like, you know how you get
I'll say,
in the house and you do
bro,
certain
I've came
things
home
in a certain manner.
I've came home with my mask on me, like, fuck, man, I drove all the way home with this motherfucker on. And then I've had scenarios recently where, you know, we get out the car and I'm like, oh shit, okay, it's in my pocket. Like now,
You ever been out and ain't had a mask on you at all? You don't got one in your pocket, not in your car?
yeah.
No.
My nigga, I did that one time.
I did it one time.
Last year. I had to park. I rented the electric car thing. Had to charge
Yeah, I got the photo still.
dog.
Yeah, I took a
The
picture of you
look.
driving that motherfucker.
All right. He kept the file.
We got proof,
I
yo.
kept the file.
Yeah.
Nah,
He had the one with the ski rack on the top too.
Hey, but look,
He ain't never seen snow.
it was summertime. It was
Making
summertime.
excuses now. Go on with the story, brother.
But now I actually had to let the car charge for a while, so I had to leave, and I'm charging it at, I think like a Walgreens had a charge station.
Mm-hmm.
Dog, I walk into Walgreens. And they're like, y'all got some masks? No, they don't got no masks. So I'm going around to different places. I got to use the bathroom. It was either I had to use the bathroom or I wanted to get something to eat. Either way, I couldn't go into wherever I was trying to go into. Like I had to walk half a mile up the street to go to a Target and get a mask to do anything. So imagine not even having a mask.
It's a grandchildren story right here, man.
Dude,
Man,
that
just
shit was
walk in.
crazy.
Just walk in like the people who are vaccinated. And, you know.
It was summertime. Mask was really, they were still kind of pushing.
Oh, they
that.
like right now because you know
And I only had I had a t-shirt on.
people that feel entitled, they come in with no mask.
Yeah,
on.
Shit, niggas just
Barefooted.
walking in there. Yeah. Niggas
come
just
in-
walking in
Coming
there.
barefoot with no mask on, whispering in your ear.
Yeah.
Do you know where the damn it? No, where's your mask?
My ear is hot. Shit.
Like,
No, but it was crazy because I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't even take my shirt off to tie it around my face because then I would look crazy with no shirt on. Like they said, no mask. No, now it's no mask.
Full
no
shirts, sir, no
shoes.
half shirts.
You remember? It was no shoes,
coming
no
without the
shirt, no
midriff.
service. Now it's nigga. Now it's you better have a motherfucking mask on. So,
Yo,
man,
you felt like they was gonna be on your ass about something.
no shoes, no shirt, no mask, no service. That nigga came in with his sweats tied around. That nigga got no pants. It's not on the sign.
I have
It's not
draws.
on the sign. Okay.
no, real talk, man. It's developing. It's
Yeah, I
own
need some
kind of-
condoms and Chico sticks.
Now you gotta open the door.
Hey,
Hey, can I toss
Hey.
you my?
I think that's the fearful thing, bro. Is already not having a mask, so you walk in there crazy trying to cover your face, and you asking for some weird shit.
Yeah. Hey, y'all got some condoms?
Oh, you want to protect yourself
Now you want to protect you.
Where's your mask, sir?
You don't have to prove anything to us. We know who you really are. Yo, it's crazy shit.
Raw dog in there, but you want condoms. This guy.
It's really that bad, man.
Where's your priorities?
It's really that bad, but I do think it's gonna be a way of life. You know, you're gonna be sitting around telling kids like, man, I remember we used to fucking party and shit, and we didn't wear masks. You didn't wear masks. You didn't wear masks.
We used to actually like
Granddaddy and them was
Do
nasty.
you know what drop the boat is? Shit,
no.
we got a girl driving the boat. We was passing around blunts to everybody. We was
The kids, even
You
in,
shared your weed.
even in school though, the kids.
like some
Jaheim
Ripley,
was like,
believe it or not, shit right now.
he said they got certain areas to where they could play in. Like he was telling me, he was like, yeah, almost got in trouble because I was in the wrong area. And I said,
He's
wrong
in the
area.
hot zone.
That's like, what you mean the wrong area? He was like, no, not an area too far away outside of the perimeter. It was area A is where you supposed to be at. Area B is where them, like, they separate a certain number of kids.
They're segregated. So you vaccinated? All right, you go romp. And you over there, you're not vaccinated, you stay over there.
So they found a way to implement segregation in school again, huh?
Play Foursquare. So.
You got your group.
Area D, dreadheads, over there, guys.
All bad, my nigga. All bad. School ain't even the same. So.
Oh, hell no, man. It's crazy. See, I think kids around your son's age are going to be the ones to actually remember. Like, I remember going to school, we didn't have to wear masks. We used to be able to shake hands and all of that stuff, and now it's just different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that metaverse, it's timing, bro. That metaverse shit, it was perfect timing. They probably was already working on it, and they accelerated the shit because of the convenience it's going to be for businesses and the culture of how we do things in this country, or how things are going to get done in the world, is different. Look at crypto. It's kind of weird how it's convenient. Where all right, now we're not even touching money anymore. It's just, all right, what's your wallet number?
The
all right, I'm gonna send it to you.
Is kind of building itself. Like, it's creating the necessities in order for the I guess industry to run. Like, you got to have some sort of financial way of being able to, some sort of barter and trade system.
You think it's gonna be harder for people to live and survive now?
I'm gonna find out, because I'm gonna go off the grid.
You go off the grid and you fuck around and die. Nigga, you ain't gonna be able to do shit. They gonna make sure that you ain't got no way to purchase anything once they
Every time
cash.
I hear somebody say go off the grid, I be thinking about Tron. That's one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Tron Legacy and Tron, and the first two Trons.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he went off the grid. Yeah. That's what I be thinking about.
Going off the grid is
pessimistic Poe over here.
Well, I'm
fucking
man.
A farmer and living off
he
the
finna have his own.
That's what I was about to tell.
And I'm talking about going off the grid. Like, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing. You're not gonna buy.
You ain't got oranges already. You ain't got oranges and tomatoes.
A wire. This nigga, man. Bruh.
I was about to say,
Unplug this nigga.
Hey, bro.
If you don't know how to,
it did seem like he was giving a signal out to the boys, though. You're not gonna be able to do nothing going off the grid, Jelani Evans, Kicks and Sneakers owner.
He start talking about this shit publicly, man. I gotta make sure when I go off the grid, they don't think I'm part of the same group. My nigga, they ain't gonna look for me.
Nah, I think you is wired up, bro. You finna,
this guy
Poe
right
finna have his own NFT. He gonna have the jalapeno Poe. He gonna have pessimistic Poe. You gonna have his different NFTs, man. You gonna make a killing with Ethereum,
bro,
man.
Imagine it though. Like, I saw a little presentation on YouTube about the metaverse that kind of actually made me more interested in it. Just imagine being in that world. It's like you can do everything in the VR world. Plus,
we come in here to do the podcast. I'm telling you that right now. Fuck that metaverse.
I don't know if y'all used the VR at all, but I've
used it before with one of my phones,
bro.
Back in the day,
it's super fun. We just played like last weekend, and it's so crazy because you'll be in there and you will forget, like, all your senses and everything. You have a view of this world and an interaction to where once you come out of it, it's like a whole different experience, bro. It's dope.
See, my mind, because I got a crazy
Grand Theft Auto on that shit.
My mind goes in different directions. Like, who's gonna be the first nigga to get caught cheating in the metaverse?
Porn in the metaverse.
That's where my mind go. Like, you the first motherfucker in history. You got caught in the metaverse, man. She still caught your ass.
I mean, she went and looked at that nigga goggles and seen what he was doing, my nigga.
That's the shit I be thinking about weird shit like that,
you
man.
You forgot to delete clip 339, Charles.
Non-fungible my ass.
Bro, just imagine. It's gonna be.
There's some excitement and concern. It's both for me. It's both for me because there's things that just doesn't beat the organic experience. You know what I'm saying? There are gonna be some great experiences that you'll be able to do, but there's certain things that I appreciate that we got to experience as the world starts transitioning to a whole different type of world. I tell my mom all the time.
When I grew up,
when I talk to my mom, I tell her all the time, I said, when we were in school, the stuff that they taught us in school, they prepared us for a world that does not exist.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Straight up.
I still write in cursive.
But that's the whole thing.
Ain't nobody else writing in cursive.
Right?
You and my mom.
You gotta understand something. You're being taught history. You're already being taught something that isn't, right? And then, like, what you're being taught currently, it progresses faster than you.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's like, in 2 years, you're like, yeah, I went from junior high to high school in 2 years. In 2 years, nigga, we went from Nokias to real, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so it's just like they can only teach from a certain reference point, and the reference point they choose to teach from is not a relevant one.
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It sucks.
Yeah, it does, man. It does. Do you guys feel like, you individually will be able to maneuver the way you want to maneuver with the different changes that's happened over the past 3 years?
You mean as far as
I don't know.
maneuver through the change?
Just how you live your life, the things that you're interested in, and things like that. Do you feel like you've been struggling with that and it's been getting better? Do you feel like it's getting worse? Like,
it's actually working it's actually a system that works well for me.
Okay.
Personally.
How long is it gonna last?
I'm not sure.
And see, and that's
no. Are you asking if that feeling or if this system that
the system?
How long will it last?
Yeah,
we don't know. You can't answer that.
We can't tell.
And that's why when you ask them, like, because it's like, all right, so the way that I was maneuvering, like the first, two series of this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
The first series, I was like, it was kind of like, figuring it out. Second series, I was maneuvering real nice. Hitting into this third one, I'm just like, yo, because I'm in the midst of transitioning. The world is transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
Part of what I'm into and the culture is transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? My focus and my interest from a financial standpoint is transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot is changing all at the same time. So I know I'm going to have to make adjustments and change and transition as well.
Yeah.
And with there being so many variables, it's unsure to know how I'm going to need to transition or what adjustments I'm going to need to make.
Yeah.
And so I don't even know if that's going to work.
Because there's,
Yeah.
My perspective on it is kind of like two different ways. I have, for one, I got my foot in kind of both worlds. So I'm still working my 9-to-5 job, but I'm also part of the like DoorDash, Instacart community as well, and then also having my own kind of thing that I do myself. It allots time for me to be able to do some of those extra things instead of being in the office most of the day. But also, I don't see those huge kind of changes that changes a civilization or a society going back to the way things were in those aspects. Like the way in which I kind of see this, I don't see us going back. I think it would take too much, and because of the amount of time and just the way that industries have had to change, I don't see them going back to doing the way that things were, because it also is a long process to go back to that.
Well, after they put all the things in it to make it more convenient for you, it'll be an inconvenience for people to go back. I mean, you're going to have the ones like ourselves that appreciate nostalgia, because a lot of the things that we were doing before, the pandemic is going to be considered nostalgic.
So what would you consider nostalgic, or what is it? Is there something from
being able to be in a room full of people without fear?
I think that's the thing that everyone will say for sure.
You damn near question every person you're around now. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that's really been heard of, at least in our lifetime, and maybe even our parents' lifetime, where you question every single person you're around. Like, that's common. That's a common feeling to have, because it's like, oh, okay.
It is in the hood. I've been on some blocks. Like, anybody?
You know this nigga, man?
Yeah.
Nah,
hey man, who baby is that, man?
No. That's happened. Nigga hopped out the car with his cousin. Nobody knew his cousin. Like, yo, what set you from? Like, who is this? Oh, this my cousin. Well, you better introduce this nigga.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, depends on your settings.
Yeah.
I think that is also like parts of that make it to where clubs, venues, gathering places,
everything is going to be exclusive.
It's affected by that mind state of we're not the liability, right? Liability, I think, is one of the things that everyone is pretty much
most people are worried
talking about.
Right.
There in an event that shut down that's supposed to happen on New Year's because of mass cases of COVID and them not wanting to be liable, or what them saying, them thinking about their customers and you know, clientele, which I appreciate. I wasn't going, but
I wasn't either. I didn't even hear about it until it got shut down.
But I just think there's so many things that were affected, and people's mind states were affected into the way that they think now, that it's going to be very, very difficult. And for some people are like not willing to go back because of what they had to do to be able to survive and do now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Imagine
it's inconvenient.
Imagine
he
the
keeps
government.
saying go back to what?
So that's what I'm going back to, like systems. Systems have changed. So for instance, my job, a lot of us were complaining previously to a lot of the ways that we had to do it, and had to do with the way which we did papers. We had to submit paperwork. So our paychecks, our absence reports at the end of the month, before the first day of the month, before we get paid, we submit an absence report. That means I sign, say I wasn't here, or I didn't have any absences.
Okay.
I got to give that to my boss, my supervisor. My supervisor gives it to the dean. The dean got to give it to another office. Another office got to give it to them. And then they send it to the district. Those are all people who have to sign a triplicate form. You know, the pink, blue, yellow, those papers. And they're sent to the district. Now, since COVID, all we do is log into our account. I don't have any absences. Boom, we're done. And that's it. So that's just one of the things that of a small example of what I mean by systems have changed because of COVID.
But he wasn't talking about like government. He's like your life system for how you're maneuvering through life.
Well, yeah, those obstacles.
I'm actually talking about both.
But work is one of those things.
I'm actually talking about both, because going back, for example, you know, in the industry, you know, that I've been working in, where it's like you come into work, you know, you got to wear a mask. You already got your PPE and shit that you got to wear, you know, and then you got to wear a mask, and then you go into the break room, and it's only a certain amount of people that got to be in the break room at one time, and now you got plexiglass through everywhere where you eat. Like it feels more like a prison at times. You know what I'm saying? Versus, you know, even when you have a conversation, it's like, oh, I got to make sure I keep my distance from this person, you know, and all of these different things that you didn't realize how much you have to think about now as far as in going back. And then, of course, you know, the livelihood aspect of how you live your life, or it's like the things that we do, like even with me and my wife having a baby, like being super duper cautious, because, you know, before we left, we had a real stern conversation with the nurse, and, you know, you got to protect your kid. You got to do this, you got to do that. And, you know, you know, babies, you know, they're not responding well to it, or older people. It's just all of this shit that people didn't have to think about 4 years ago. You have to think about damn near every move, every pivot that you do, whether you're vaccinated or not. Because even when I have conversations with people that aren't vaccinated, they're still like, well, I'm keeping my distance, or I don't really mess with people like that as it is. But, you know, me and my family, we staying in the house, and, you know, we don't really have that many people over. And you know what I'm saying? I wasn't shit that anybody had to think about whether he was vaccinated or not. It was just, oh, Whoopty Whoop and them is coming over. We doing this. They bringing the baby, or we going to this event. We all going to the park, or whatever that shit is. It's just,
bro. Even my mom, since it's slowed down, but literally half of last year, it was like every single week she was calling and telling me that her job, like every 2 weeks, they're shutting down the place because someone had COVID and they came into the office. And then she's like, they're still rotating out. She's like one of the only people in her position working her position on those days. Then there's like people who are still consistently coming to work, and they've contracted it, and they've either entered the building or they've been around someone. So it's even affecting.
Just even that right there. Like, there's a panic when, oh, there's a case. Oh shit. You know what I mean? Even that. People was coming to work with the fucking flu and shit. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that that's okay. I'm just saying, like, that's like a huge shift. It's like how? You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I ask that question, like how do you feel about how you're maneuvering? Like me personally, to answer my own question, I'm just trying to balls to the wall with shit I can control. That's the only thing I'm thinking about. Like, you know, whether it's trying to get the brand going in the direction I want it to go, keep family safe, keep extended family close. And you know what I mean? And that was my learning lesson for the past few years is as many people as I lost, it's just like, all right, I need to really like hold people close that want to be close. Mm-hmm. I can't, that's the big thing too. I can't be trying to hold on to people that ain't trying to hold on back, but I need to hold on to the people close that are trying to be in your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Because the people that I lost, I feel like I could have did a better job. Even though I probably kept in touch or whatever, but I could have did a better job of making sure they seen me, right, or I seen them, or whatever the case is. So just really going hard on the shit I can control, because we're learning right now how much shit we don't fucking control. Mm-hmm. Over and over again. When they keep switching shit up, it's like, damn, they doing it. Damn, they doing that. You know what I'm saying? So that's mainly what I was leaning at.
I think for me, honestly, I don't think too much about it. It hasn't necessarily had a huge effect on me to where I had to like change things. It did early on because of the kids, mm-hmm, in the school in school and everything.
I feel like that was hell for a lot of parents too.
But for some reason, that was something that we already kind of had spoken about wanting to do for the kids prior to the pandemic happening. Mm-hmm. But I feel like for me personally, and I just thought about it as you were answering the question, I think this is it's an experience for me that it's kind of like a field trip almost for me. And the reason I say that is I'm interested in a lot of historical events, mm-hmm, and the experience of like being in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. It's like being like somebody who's interested in watching a storm or a tornado, mm-hmm, and being able to be inside of the tornado. Mm-hmm. They're not panicking necessarily. They're kind of like looking around like, this is the inside of the tornado. Wow. Like it's almost like that for me. I'm kind of like, I'm doing a lot of observing of how people are reacting. I'm having obviously my own experience with reactions to certain things, but it's more of like, God damn, this is crazy that we're actually living a historical moment in our lives, and in so many different ways. It's not just the pandemic, it's like politics, it's all sorts of different things. Yeah. But that's kind of like how it is for me. So it's not, and it hasn't been a negative effect on me changing my schedule and things. It's kind of like allowed me to do the things I wanted to do before, mm-hmm, a little bit. So yeah, I guess that's how I would see it.
That's just crazy. Cause you're just like, you know, in the midst of it, it's like not panicking, you know, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, it's like, bro, I'm hella antisocial, I'm OCD and a germaphobe. So a lot of the shit that people are thinking of doing now, or how people, I've already been like that. I don't like people. I don't go out. I don't do too much interacting. I don't just be around people. I don't pull up to all the parties. I don't club. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I've always had hand sanitizer and, you know what I'm saying? Like, mm-hmm, stuff like that around the house and the car. Like, I keep it because I'm a germaphobe, bro. Like, I used to have an issue with washing my hands like every like 10 minutes because mm-hmm, you know, like, mm-hmm, so OCD, I do a lot of things the same way. Everything has a certain place. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, outside of having to wear a mask and be a little more cautious for other people around me who might not be cautious at all. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, there isn't really too much change from that aspect. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now with the business, it's a whole different ballgame because I'm an entrepreneur and finding different ways to continue to do what it is I like to do that are innovative or creative. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That will draw people in, that will bring attention, that will, you know, like that's where it gets difficult. That's the mm-hmm, challenge, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to remain consistent in all of that because majority of the time, that's how you eat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the 9-to-5ers, like, I don't ever talk shit about them because they have something that entrepreneurs don't. And that's like a guarantee.
Yeah.
As long as
guaranteed
you go
to walk into that bullshit.
as long as you go to work at that 9 to 5, you're guaranteed to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
You can work 15, 16 hours as an entrepreneur and not get paid. Matter of fact,
nickel.
you're actually paying to work.
Yeah, because you gotta buy the supplies. You have to.
It's not just the
pay for
supplies,
shipping or
licensing,
packaging
and
and all-
it's
yeah,
all
fees
different
and
type of, you know what I'm saying? Like contracting other people to make things happen so you can ultimately bring your vision to life.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it be embroidery, patch, all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
And then like the shipping issues that have been happening for forever and a day.
because of the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
So then being able to like put a timetable together, a gauge when your supplies might come in or when things might happen that could jeopardize the whole operation or push it back.
And then what if things are out of stock? They're not.
And that happens
as well too.
And so it's there's so many different variables.
So many different variables
with the business aspect that just like, you know, it'll drop you up the wall, bro. And I don't think a lot of people really, they don't acknowledge it. And I think they don't acknowledge it because they're not truly aware of it because they don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
When you work a 9 to 5, all you got to worry about is getting there and being there. Now, because a lot of times once you're there, you might have certain things that you got to do that might differ, but majority of your job in some sense is repetitional. Right, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like you go into your job every day and it's something different. It's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
even if you go to McDonald's, like, okay, you still have to clock in. You're going into the same place. You're doing the same lockers in the same area. Okay, you might not be doing fries today. You flipping burgers, but you still in the same works. You know what I'm saying? You still in the same environment. It's so, but man, as an entrepreneur, bro, yo, it's difficult. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's where a lot of the adjustments come in and then the transitions, and it's like playing it by ear and hoping for the best and engaging things. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what, like, no system is safe in that aspect because whatever it is you're doing can change tomorrow because what you've been doing might not work, might not take, might be out of stock, might not be accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. Or you execute it and they don't like it, so now it's back to the drawing board. Oh shit!
Yeah,
there's that too. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't got to worry about none of that when you go in. Like, you don't even give a fuck if your boss like your job. I did the job, damn it. Okay. Yep. He hit you after work. Yeah, you didn't do this the right way. And you be like, oh, okay, sir, I understand. You got the phone. I don't give a fuck. So I admit to do it like that. And so what? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shit, I'm still on the phone. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's extremely different. And what's so crazy is because of the lack of stress in the work environment with your 9 to 5, because of not having to worry about certain variables and unexpectancies and that guarantee of pay, right? It allows for certain things in your life to be a little more relaxed.
I'll give you a different side of that.
Wait, though, because it allows things to be relaxed. So then how you operate in life, how your systems, they're a little more relaxed.
Yeah, because of the stress.
Or the lack thereof. See, as an entrepreneur, the variables, the stress, the tension, it's a roller coaster. Yeah. But it doesn't allow for too much off time because
you don't get off that roller coaster. That's
what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? It, like you were saying, it spills over into your actual life. And your life and the business becomes one. Because if you don't work, you don't eat. Shit, you can work and still won't eat if it ain't good enough. Yeah. 9 to 5, you can work and you gonna eat. And you got half-ass it all you want.
There's another part to that though. So for the last 11 years, I've been working for the school system. So working for education or government, get paid monthly, right? get paid monthly. So imagine this: you're working part time, you get paid monthly in the middle of the month. So now you have things that you want to do throughout the day, the week, or the month that you may not have the money for, or you got to figure out how to get the money for because your check ain't came yet. Which, as an entrepreneur, you may be able to get your cash or your money perhaps sometimes right after you deliver the product. But now working with what I said, they gave us a taste. Just like the DoorDash things. As soon as I'm done with the transaction, I get my money right away.
Yeah, that's love.
That's a different taste for me because although now I've reached a level at my job to where although I'm getting paid monthly and my check is a significant amount, dog, being able to get the money right away or that week, it's different.
Because they open the door. With you being able to work from now home, you don't have to actually spend that time being there physically. Like, honestly, if you have a laptop and a good Wi-Fi connection, you could be on the move.
I've done it several times.
Okay, so that allows for you to, you know what I'm saying, have that extra hustle, but that's, as an entrepreneur, you don't have that because your business is already a hustle.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I honestly, I don't want to DoorDash because I don't have the energy because I'm exhausted mentally and emotionally from trying to put it all together, which is more draining than physical.
Yeah, and I don't need you forgetting my Chick-fil-A fries because of that.
I'm going to eat them and cancel your order. You and DoorDash deal with that. They'll shoot you credits. You see what I'm saying?
You didn't tell them to put no salt on these fries.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's like there is that extra
added stress kind of.
Extra room to maneuver and work from the 9 to 5 side because I still work the 9 to 5 from home. I don't have to be there physically. So with me not being there physically allows me to do other things and be other places because I don't have to be here physically. So you can work your 9 to 5 and then still have a hustle on the side and make money both ways. Whereas like I would damn near have to. It's like the opposite. I got to go get employed. You see what I'm saying? Like,
because you're losing time over here. You kind of working against yourself a little bit to break even.
And then on top of that, being an entrepreneur, the whole for a lot of people, like myself included, being an entrepreneur is going to want to work for nobody else.
That's very true.
You know that whole being told when and how and like it's different now because I haven't had the opportunity of working in the PC era, post-COVID era. I worked BC before COVID. So, it was actually go into work, clock in, and I worked warehouses, forklift operator, dispatch, baler. Like, that was one position. I did all that in one position. I wasn't naming jobs. That was all. You know what I'm saying? No?
You moved on up, huh?
No. That was all at one job. I did all of that. But it was just like, it was a lot. And, you know what I'm saying? It was at night and then get off. After doing all of that, like actual physical manual labor, bro, I'm exhausted.
Yes.
Like the thing about it is like I was still spending a couple of hours trying to, kind of put for the business and then put myself into position. But now that I'm here, just like you said, I can't go back. There's no going back. There's a lot of things in place and these systems are set up, but going back to a 9 to 5, it doesn't sit well with me. If I'm going to go back to a 9 to 5, I just wasted my last 8 years.
And it's almost like saying that what you're doing now is like you're failing at what you're doing now.
I don't believe in it.
No. So you basically kind of like, they gave you the opportunity to see that you can actually do it, even though you knew you could before, but it's almost like forced you to do it.
Well, see, like, that's the thing. Like, so this is what's so crazy. See, BC, before COVID, I did it by choice.
Okay.
I
like that.
PC, people were forced to do it.
Okay.
Right? And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the way that it was viewed.
Yeah.
Before COVID, me quitting my job to be an entrepreneur and do what I did, I was viewed as being stupid.
Yeah. I can see the perception.
Why would you do something like that? What, like, you know what I'm saying?
You got a good job.
Yeah, you're just gonna get out here and go invest in yourself and chase your dreams. But like, it didn't make sense. BC when I did it, right? Now PC. That's all anybody's doing, right?
Yep.
Everybody is an artist, creative, right?
Yep.
everybody has something going on. Content creator,
Yeah,
all
there's a
right.
lot of podcasts out there now. Yeah.
Innovators, like all this, like out of nowhere, right? To TikTokers and new dances, all this type of stuff that's going on. PC because people have been in the house and been forced to find, and now it's acceptable.
Yeah.
See, the crazy thing for me, listening to what you guys are saying, because I'm on both sides, right? Where I'm working a 9 to 5 and I'm running my brand, and we do the podcast, and for me, it's a different type of stress because of how much I just want to do one, but I can't do it yet. You know what I'm saying? I have certain standards and certain goals I want to reach before I can just say, all right, I'm just gonna full time do what I'm doing or do what we're doing. And the crazy thing about it is that's a mental stress, because anytime I don't like something that I'm dealing with the 9 to 5, I'm just like, man, I can't fucking wait, man. Something gotta happen. I'm finna go home and work on some shit right now. Like, it's motivational, but it's stressful because it's like it ain't happening
the way
fast
you want
enough.
it to,
right?
Yeah, like right now.
You feel like you ready right now. Like,
yeah,
it's a difference of being like thinking you ready, but then you starting to experience it and be like, damn, I'm learning a lot. But now it's kind of like, man, I know you're gonna eventually have a lot more to learn, but it's like, damn, I feel like I'm ready to take that motherfucking chance.
Most people, I shouldn't say that. A lot of serious people are. It's just when it's going to happen, the timing. Yeah. For example, if you've done everything you could with whatever, like, for example, we have our brands, right? We're putting out quality and shit like that. Now we got to prove, we got to prove, that we're just as good, if not better than the hype. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when you start businesses, they say, 3 to 5 years is most likely going to be a loss unless you got some amazing investors. And by then, most people quit. Most people are quitting. They're like, oh, fuck that. I'm not doing that. It's no different than YouTubers. Everybody, we know who some popular YouTubers are, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, they blown up and, they're getting popular because of this. But nobody goes back 3 to 5 to 7 to 10 years ago when a lot of these people started and seen, damn, they only had like 3 views. But the advantage is but you see what I'm saying? It's, and don't get me wrong, like I do appreciate, having the security and having the 9 to 5, but I appreciate more being able to do what I'm passionate about and what I believe I'm talented about. I'm getting real close to hey, what's up, guys? This is Boy Darian here on the podcast. Please like and subscribe. I'm getting close to that shit, man.
Hit that notification bell. Make sure you subscribe.
Down low if you like what you're hearing. Tell your friends. Hey, it's crazy though, because it's like, man, I remember being at that point where I was working a 9 to 5 and I was doing things with the brand. It was like, when?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you speak about timing, and it's like timing plays a big role. And for me, I was kind of at a fuck it moment.
Yeah. Which is what most of us need.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck it, man. I'm tired of this. And so I really started taking some chances. And then I fucked around and got hurt. I was laid up for a hot minute, which allowed me to have the time to, you know what I'm saying? And by that point, I was like, yo, it was almost like, it's like how you said you get a taste. When I was injured, right, I couldn't do anything but, lay up. My leg was messed up. So brainstorm, think, research, plot, figure out ways to make things happen. And once I came up with a plan that I felt confident in, I was like, yo, that didn't gave me enough time to figure out some things. Like, you're not finna be, what? Hey, all that forklift shit is over. Like, yo.
Is it almost like a thing to where, like, we could say, say you're lifting weights, or you started lifting, you lifted 130. You don't think you can get to 150 yet, but then once you do 150, like, and you get used to doing 150, you're like, the fuck, like, I'm not gonna, or a certain amount of, you may have done a certain amount of customs throughout the week. Normally, we're working on your job, and one of the things is like, am I gonna be able to get double or triple of the amount done? But once you are forced into that and you do it, and you kind of like, oh, I can do this.
It's like that turning point where you really start seeing the 9 to 5 as a hindrance instead of a help, and that's you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, and the thing about it is like the timing, because when it seems like it is, it isn't. That's not when it's time yet. When it feels like it's time, that's when it's time for you to start applying pressure and what it is you have going on, because that's like your alarm. Because the time is gonna present itself
To where
you're gonna need to have your shit in order. And if you slept through the alarm, when that feeling hit, and you're just like, oh, I feel like I should. So you start preparing, right? You don't prepare for something if you don't think it's not going to happen, right?
Right.
So if the alarm goes off, you get that feeling and you start preparing for it. You put yourself in a situation that when it's actually time, you're ready.
Right.
So then you get all your clothes ready before the morning. So when that alarm go off, your shit is ready, because you can't just wake up in the morning and now you all like, what the fuck am I wearing?
Well, see, when the alarm goes off, that's when you get up, brush your teeth, and start getting dressed, right, for the clothes you laid out. Because if you sleep through the alarm, you fuck around and miss the bus, then your mom gonna beat your ass before she take you to school.
And you got to run around looking for what you don't know what you forget. You forgot your book in the
Niggas got flashbacks like a motherfucker.
But you see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah,
So
personalities matter, man.
So it's really about timing, you know what I'm saying, and paying attention to things. But it's, bro, the stress and the mental weight of it all,
man,
it's funny because, like, you know, that alone. Because honestly, in your first 2 to 3 years of your business, if you're doing it right, you'll also still be working. And those will be the most stressful times.
Because you feel like you're wasting time at your job.
And then you'll also feel like you're not seeing anything happen with your business.
Yeah.
That's why most people quit within the first 3 to 5 years. Because you'll be trying to... The balancing act itself is a lot. And if you don't have a certain level of patience... Because that's ultimately what it takes.
And endurance.
100%. Patience and endurance. Because you have to have patience at your job to endure the bullshit.
Yeah.
And you have to have patience with the business to endure the ups and downs.
Yes.
And so that's where a lot of people get burnt out. See, once you get past that, it's not like you get past that, then your business starts making money. No, you have a better understanding of how to balance things, right? How much to invest, where to scale things back. You know what I'm saying? You start to figure out mistakes. You start to figure out the combination for you,
right?
Because everybody has different priorities and responsibilities in the midst of what they have going on. That's why some people endure the job longer than they want to. So. You know what I'm saying? It's a process.
It is, man.
It's man, look,
and we gonna see what it does for us this year. I mean, and for other people, man. But it's work is work. That's the best, the simplest way to put it. Whether you're 9 to 5, you're an entrepreneur, 100%. It is work. I mean, work is work, man.
It's really work when you're working on your own. It's really work when you're working on your own, because you have a certain standard. You view it a certain way. You want to come across, be perceived a certain way. And so you'll fucking run yourself ragged to get your shit right. And that's where them 16, 17, 18-hour days come into play. That's where getting off your 9 to 5 and putting in that extra time comes into play. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, you know, when you hit that point, that's when, damn, this job getting on my damn nerves. I could have did this. I could have did that. I could have, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You start applying pressure.
Yep.
You start seeing like, damn, I could have had this much time to finish this. I could have went over here and did.
That's exactly how it is,
in
man.
this cubicle.
Man, I'm going to, bro. March March 2022, right? Shit.
Carry the 3.
That's 8 years, bro. It'll be 8 years that Kicks and Sneakers has been moving in March, starting from the blog to where we are now.
Wow.
That's crazy, right?
It's crazy for a lot of reasons. It's going in my head, too. Yeah, that's crazy. That's wild, man.
That's a lot of time.
The book tour.
It's almost 10 years.
Customizing, deep clean services, the brand, the website, the cleaning guide, the cleaning kit. I don't think I've done anything else. Oh, the Black Artist Grant or the Black Artist Foundry Grant and the capsule for them. Yeah, man, I've done a few things. That's crazy though. 8 years. It has not been a cakewalk either.
Oh, and you got a whole lot more bullshit to deal with too.
Man.
More money, more problems, more success, more obstacles for sure.
I still have a piece too for the LeVar Cole line. You forgot about it.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
I
did not.
That nigga ain't forgot about shit.
I ain't forgot. I have not forgot.
Cause I was over there looking at some stuff today, and I was
stop telling them shit. Stop telling them shit. Matter of fact, anyways, it's your boy Dizzy D Spill here with my co-host in the building,
Farmer Poe,
Jelani Evans.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe on the channel. Until next time, peace. And if we haven't said it, we're gonna say it now. Happy New Year to y'all.
Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year.